Hey! Here we are. This is our review of episode 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 10. So, last week we waved goodbye, ta-ra, to Miss Vanjie. Miss Vanjie. Miss Vanjie. And you know what, I for one am quite sad. I think that Vanjie had a lot more to offer. And the first thing we see is all of them coming back into the workroom after the main stage. They wipe off Miss Vanjie's beautiful sign. Then we're straight in with the drama, aren't we? Aquaria is asked by Calorie. So apparently you had some, colourful discussions back here. And so Aquaria has been quite diplomatic. And I think she's been quite sensible because you don't know when you're going to have to work with Miss Cracker. You don't know what the dynamic is going to be, and so better to have a friend and be diplomatic than to have an enemy and cause drama. Well, the Vixen's having none of that, is she? She's like, I came for the drama. Let's have some drama. I came to fight, and if I can't fight with you, I'm going to make sure that you two are having a fight. And I don't know how sensible this is of Vixen, because if I've seen that happen, I'm probably not going to be fully candid with you in the future. I'm probably not going to enter into a conversation with you where actually I'm real about my feelings because I can't trust you. So next day they're coming into the workroom and Calorie and Eureka are singing, better watch out big girls, they're gonna eat you. Like, it's always these things which they do and they say and then, oh, you're gone. Bye. We get to see quite a lot of Aquaria in this episode. She tells us that she's going to let RuPaul see her star. Andy Cohen and Ru come into the workroom, two rapturous screams. Yay! Again. This is where we get our mini challenge. Hey girl, hey! They all have to do a little hoedown and they have to get ready in 20 minutes. Like, getting ready in 20 minutes is not fun and it's not cute and it's not clever. And very few of them look cute or clever. The winners of the mini challenge are Asia O'Hara and the Vixen. Like, Asia O'Hara I think was stand out the best. With the Vixen, like, I didn't get it. I didn't think what she was doing was hoedown, but I'm not making the choices. So, okay. So following the mini challenge, the maxi challenge is announced and it is Farmer-rusical. And they're all split up into teams. Asia picks and then Vixen picks. And the last person to be picked is Eureka, which actually I'm quite shocked about. I mean, yes, she's a loudmouth. Yes, she talks all the time. Yes, she's always got an opinion. But, like, she can deliver. We saw that last season, where she damaged herself. But she went for it. She really went for it. And they separate out. And first we see Asia's group. And they're all very organised. But Eureka is putting in all the time. Asia, I think we should. I think we should. I think we should. And Asia's having none of it. She's like, we're gonna do it this way. She's ready to throttle her, isn't she? Whereas over in Vixen's team, it's definitely not a democracy in Vixen's team. They're all, talking about, I want to do this, I really like this character, I like this, da-da-da. And she's like, well, good, I'm glad you like it, but I'm not gonna leave it up to you. Like, I'm gonna make the decisions because I'm the boss. So when Ru first comes in to talk to them, you really see a difference in how she's reacting to each group. Like with Asia's group, everybody has their own little bit. She talks to Aquaria, she talks to Eureka, and there's some jokes and some laughter. And then she's saying, how far on are you? Well, we've got some choreography and we've got this and da-da-da. Okay, great. And then she drops in that little bomb that she likes to do with everybody, where she says, well, just know that there's some extra work to do in order to stand out because there's so many of you. Okay, bye. Then she goes over and talks to the Vixen's team, who of course are like, yeah, well, we haven't really done anything. And then of course the Vixen is like, well, no, I haven't done any choreography. At this point, RuPaul does what RuPaul does best and disappears and says, okay, bye. You know, it's really snappy. And at that point, as a group leader, you need to be going, I've just been given a message and I need to listen to that and I need to take action on it. Now it's choreography time. Not everybody is a dancer, but the difference is that you can see who is a dancer and who has at least been to dance classes, because those people who have been to dance classes, when somebody's doing their solo bit in front, you can see them off to the side practicing. So you are and Aquaria are both doing this. They're both going, okay, like I need to know this dance routine so that when I get up in front of everybody, I know what I'm doing. And then there's those who aren't doing that, and of course then they get picked up on it. Because they've spent such a long time working on choreography, they really haven't thought about the performance aspect of it yet. I was really surprised at how weak Yua's was, because she's very funny, she's very clever, she's quite kind of extrovert, but then we also get to see how already at this stage in her head Eureka is, because she's been so busy you know, in everybody else's business going, we should do this, we should do that, we should do this, da da da, rather than thinking about what it is that she should do. At this point she's really unwilling to show, you know. And of course Alyssa then has a word with her afterwards and says, you know, don't worry about it, you're fierce, you're great, you know what you're doing, go and do it. Then we get the Vixens group, in they come, and it's so funny how shocked Alyssa is, like that they are so unprepared. Blair St. Clair is struggling at this. You know, somebody who describes himself as a Broadway queen, we see actually, you can't dance, love. To me, you can't really describe yourself as a Broadway queen unless you can act, sing and dance. If you are a Broadway ingenue, then you should be able to do all of those three to a very high standard. Picking up choreography should be second nature. It should just be easy, which it's not for Blair. Alyssa is really, really good at her job, and she knows that this group aren't at the level that they need to be. So she gives them a pep talk at the end and she says, look, I've been in your situation. I know what this is like. These are the things you need to do, and you need to do them now. You need to get on and sort your shit out. And we're back in the workroom and we're listening to Eureka crying. It's not life or death. Like, this is not cancer. The thing with Eureka is, instead of going, I feel like I'm not doing very well, instead of taking that and owning it and going, right, what do I do now? You know, instead of being pragmatic and going, what's the course of action? I'm here, so what do I need to do in order to get to here? She just sits and cries about it. Well, you've already given up at that stage. You've thrown in the towel. You might as well not be there, because if you're sitting crying rather than doing something about it, nothing's ever going to happen. It's just not. Asia steps in and says, okay, now it's rehearsal time. Let's do this. You know, so she's treading that line of making people achieve whilst also trying to support them when they're not as strong as they could be. Whereas the Vixens group, that doesn't seem to happen. You know, there's lots of talking and lots of prep of costumes and wigs and things, but not so much of actually the content of what you're doing. You know, like I describe it as the wrapping. So they're doing the wrapping of the present. They've got the box, they've got the wrapping, and they're not working on the stuff that's actually inside the box. They're just working on how it looks. So we're into Pharmarusical. I think the lyrics and the content of this challenge are probably better than most of the others that we've seen. My issue with it is that I don't feel like anybody really stood out as, you know, wow, amazing. I think probably the person who embodied what they were doing the best was probably Dusty Ray Bottoms. You know, she was really there with it. The other standout bit for me is Mayhem Miller singing about anal. She really committed to it, and I thought that was a standout moment in the whole of the the musical. I don't think everybody was as good in this as they could have been or they should have been. I think they were given better material than the performances that they delivered, to be honest. And I honestly couldn't have picked between the two groups because I don't think either was that much better. I think maybe the Vixens picked it just a bit. And then we have our runway, which is our best drag. All the girls up and down, and so many catsuits, like so many catsuits, it's ridiculous. I love a catsuit, like I absolutely love a catsuit. I love them because they're easy, you can wear them in a nightclub, you don't have to worry about people ripping your tights or spilling their drinks as much, or, you know, they're much more public friendly than a dress, you know, like this, which if you're in a public space, it's dragging on the floor, people spill their drinks on it, you know. If you spent £600 or £1,000 on a dress, you don't want to wear that in a nightclub. Whereas if you've spent $30 on a catsuit and you stuck some stones on it, well, you're not so bothered about people dropping drinks on it. I think my favourite outfits on the runway were Asia's. I think it was beautiful. Although it was a body, it was also a dress at the same time, and I think there was just enough of dress in it for me to go, okay, that's a beautiful dress. I think my other favourite on the runway was no, I don't think I had one. I think my least favourite on the runway were Money Exchange. Like, is that your best drag? Oh, like, I hope it's not, because otherwise we're back to sponges. My other least favourite, it was probably Calories. Just because, like, that's another catsuit that I've got one very similar. I covered it in stones. The catsuit itself was £10. The stones were probably another £5. It's a really easy outfit, and there's nothing really very special about it. You know, it's fine on stage, it's fine in a nightclub, it's fine. What I want as your best drag, I want, wow, blow your socks off, amazing, incredible, beautiful, insane. I didn't really feel like anybody brought that. And I felt like it was a surprise that the Vixen won, because, like I said, I don't feel like anybody really stood out of any of the groups that much. So then we get to the bottoms, and it's very clear from the critiques that the girls all receive that You Are, Calorie and Eureka are all in the bottom. But unfortunately, it's Eureka and Calorie in the bottom, and Yuha is safe. So then we get to our lip sync for your life. Eureka says, I'm gonna fight harder than I've ever fought in my life for this. And Calorie is going, well, I've just gotta send her home. And it's that thing, again, about when you say, I'm going to send them home, it's almost always you that ends up being sent home. Like, almost always, 90% of the time, it's the queen that says, I'll send them home, I'll do this, I'll do that. That they don't, they get booted out. And that's what we see again, is that Calorie is the one that is sent home. Was I shocked that it was Calorie who was going? Absolutely not. Because in terms of the competition, I think, in all honesty, Eureka has more to offer. Even if she is irritating as fuck. Now it's time for Points of View, UK and Ireland. Here's some of our UK and Irish queens giving us their thoughts on this week's episode. Don't forget to follow them all on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook.
Hi Divina, it's Dick Slick. I am a huge fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, and season 10 is turning out extremely exciting, thrilling. Oh, I'm gonna have to take a moment. Well, that is all apart from Aquaria. This is the boring of the age of Aquaria, my darling. I do not like the attitude. I do not like this faux, fighting with Ms. Cracker. I'm a huge Ms. Cracker fan, by the way. This week, I loved all of the outfits. I think that the right person went. I think that Calorie is further back in her journey as a queen than the rest of the queens. I think she tried really hard, but I think in the end, Eureka absolutely killed it on that, on the lip sync. It was brilliant.
You're right, you sexy little bitch out there in Gran Canaria. You're right, my love. I feel like it's Eurovision, this, isn't it? Me calling from Gorton. You're right, love. Obviously, it's about RuPaul's Drag Race. A little bit of a review. Looking very sexy, aren't I? My little number here. I got it from Oxfam, $2.99. Thank you very much for my earrings on. Not like them classy girls on RuPaul, is it? Hey, I tell you. Fucking Miss Angie and all that. I'm sick of hearing that now. It's funny for about 5 minutes, and then you all feel it's like a disease. It spreads all over the gay world. Honestly, bloody God. And I tell you who does stand out to me at the moment. None of them. No, but they will get there in the end. I'll tell you who did actually stand out to me. The vixen at the moment for me. I think she's very funny. I like some of the numbers that she's done. I know she's won a couple of the challenges. I like Monet. I thought I was going to like Eureka, but she's getting on my tits a little bit this series. And this particular episode, I just felt that whole dancing scenario where she weren't going for it. I'm like, girl, come on. Snap out of it. It's been and done. You've been given a second chance, which no other queen, well, very rarely, unless RuPaul is a massive fan of you, ever gets a chance to have a second chance. And here you are, mourning about something that happened probably a year ago. Get over it, girl. You're not the first person to twist your ankle. Christ, you'd think she'd been shot in head. But Calorie Kardashian. Now, let's be absolutely honest, bag of shite. Another two that are standing out for me at the moment is Ms. Cracker and Aquaria. I'll be honest, I only knew of Aquaria before it because she copies me. Oh, she don't really copy me, but I know she has short blonde wigs on sometimes, so that's why she did actually stand out initially. Although I do say that Aquaria's outfit, because the outfits that they had for the best drag, what the hell was that? Even I could pull something better out of my fucking cupboard. And that's saying something, but they all come out and all that crap. But Aquaria, I loved them rings. I loved the rings that she had. I actually thought she looked really, really good. I thought she was probably one of the best dressed ones that had come out there. I mean, to be honest, at the moment, I'm waiting for it to really sort of get going. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could sit here with a list of the names and go through every single one of them, but they're like, you're either standing out to me now because you're boring. You got that Eureka. She needs to just turn it around and give us a Eureka moment. That many coming out on Best Drag. And they all come out dressed like that. No, RuPaul, you should stand up, give them all a slap and say, come out wearing something better. Christ almighty. Oh, I'll leave it at that for you, because Christ, we're getting on for bloody ages. So, hope you're having a fabulous time out there in Gran Canaria, love. I'll be there soon for Gran Canaria Pride. I'll put another video in and hopefully it'll all start to kick off a little bit better. I'm off to Void to get absolutely wankered and have a fantastic bank holiday. Mwah!
Hey, as Divina De Campo herself would say, hi, it's me, Athena, one of those hashtag Manchester Queens. Is that still a thing? I'm not quite sure. I've been asked to do this little video by Divina herself, just talking a little bit about RuPaul's Drag Race Season 10. How exciting, can you believe it's been 10 years of Drag Race? That means it started when I was 13 years old, which is kind of a little bit gross. I'm just here to comment on a couple of the queens that I'm thinking are doing really well this year. I'm hoping Miss Cracker is going to take that crown. She's beautiful, flawless, painted, and she is hilarious. And I'm all about a funny queen. Really like that. One of the queens that I don't like, the fat one, what's her name? No, not Elsa Cake, not Danny Beard. Calorie Kardashian Williams. I think that's her name. I don't like her. I'm not into it. What's the whole Kardashian thing? You're fat, we know that. Get over it.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. And we will see you next week with our episode 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 10 review. Take care, everybody. Bye!